Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Farida Ali and I'm glad that you're back. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to this channel and make sure you hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, you get notified and we get to meet here and interact. Today, I'm joined by an amazing guest who is going to introduce herself, and I'm sure from this conversation, you're going to be inspired and you're going to learn and unlearn something that you didn't know. Welcome. Thank you, Esha, for joining me in this space.
Thank you for having me.
Kindly introduce yourself to my audience.
Thank you so much, Farida. My name is Esha Muhammad Abdullah. I come from Mombasa. I'm an educator and a social worker by practice. I founded an organization called Her Narrative in Mombasa that used the power of storytelling to mentor, create awareness to young people on issues on sexual reproductive health and rights, leadership and governance, and also gender-based violence. And not only in Mombasa, but in Kenya as a whole. But I also wear a number of hats.
Tell us.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I sit as a director at the National Youth Council, so I'm one of the board members there. I am also an ambassador. I sit at the She Leads Global Board, representing Kenya, where work is to advise the She Leads movement on issues on young women and girls, especially in leadership. And latest, I'm also the Miss President, Mombasa County. I got the privilege to represent my country at the national level in discussing matters Kenya and pushing the agenda of women in taking up spaces within government, and just to make them understand how important for the community to nurture women and be okay in having women in such spaces.
Wow. Hats off, man. Hey, that is so much about you. And looking at you at a very young age,
yes,
the kind of hats you are holding, you're wearing, and the kind of roles you get to play in this community, which is actually greatly contributing to the impact and even the development of the society at large.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Farida. First, actually, it starts with an individual. But for me, it had also a push because I'm not only the only person within the organization. I have two other co-founders that I work with. And I remember with the work that I've been doing volunteering, one of them came and told me, actually it's he said, Esha, we need to start something together. You know, we need to set something together to help young people in Mombasa and in Kenya at large. So I thought it was a good idea. And we looked around, what are the issues? What are the things that are happening within the community that we'd want to address? And one thing is leadership and governance. That is my heart. Young people in Kenya and Mombasa have to take up leadership and governance. But there is that disparity. There's something that is happening where there's that gap. We are not feeling involved enough as young people. We're not seeing these spaces to take up. So our work as Her Narrative is to create awareness that we have spaces. That as young people, we can do more, we can be better, and it starts with an individual, with your interest, Farida. I remember just the other day, there's a lady you're having a discussion. She's a friend of mine, and she was telling me, Esha, I don't love politics, I don't know the government how it is, mimi sipendi, mimi sitaki. And imagine she went and voted. And for me, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, umeenda umepiga kura. That's a big step. Yeah. Like at least one person had and felt like, actually, it's important. It's important, and it starts with me. Na ndio hivyo, Farida. Another thing that we are working on is issues on SRHR, sexual reproductive health and rights, and we do it in schools and out of school. So far we did a campaign called Hedhi Yangu in partnership with the Lumu Care, in partnership with Slick Girls, and in partnership with an organization called Epic Youth Organization. And we look at ending or reducing period poverty and period shaming in school. And you'd find that when we went, we had small stories or stories that we think it's important that we start at that level. Msichana anasema, oh, mimi nikikaa kwa class, mvulana anakuja ananishika, anaruka. You know, such stories, if we don't start having conversation with them at this age, then how are we grooming the coming generation? So SRHR is something that we have to talk about. And the good thing is, just the other day we saw the Ministry of Health launching the reproductive health and rights policy. You see?
Yeah.
It's a, although people came at came about it and started making noise about it, but I think it's a step in the right direction. And issues on gender-based violence, we saw an increased rate of gender-based violence, especially in Mombasa. And the county government even came up with an initiative at the situation room for referrals. So these are works that we do as an organization, and we look at advancing more because we realize that our young people are of different kinds, you know, and the impact is huge, but the impact can only be felt if we come together. If we decide that elimu care, link, search for common ground, decide to wanaika resources hapo, wana to push agenda yetu, then we become many in these spaces. And that is the thing. We have to increase the number of young people in the civic spaces, in the leadership spaces, so that views zetu zisikike, Farida. Because if our views are not heard, then that's that.
You've touched on a very important aspect, and that is the aspect of partnership, Esha. What I'm getting from you is the fact that in as much as we are all playing our role, but on different level and different capacity, if we don't come together, we cannot create a bigger impact.
Very true.
But then somebody from her narrative bringing her idea, somebody from Elim Care bringing her idea, and then we have this big donor, or rather this organization that has the capacity to provide funds for the implementation of these ideas that young people like me and you are bringing on board. That is actually going to get us a step ahead, rather than the culture we've been seeing, or rather the culture we've been observing of people seeing each other as a threat and not necessarily wanting to partner and work together towards impacting the community. Wow, that is so nice. And you know, I feel very comfortable in this conversation because I feel you're somebody who I relate with, considering the fact that we've partnered and we've worked together in previous projects, and the fact that we are all young people in this space. I'm trying to imagine if I was having this conversation with somebody who is not in my generation, there could be a bit of friction in between because that person could not have understood where I'm coming from. So with all the impact that you've created through your organization, very strategic on the aspect of your recent engagement on the Miss President program, which was such a huge milestone, representing Mombasa and getting from where it started. I just want to know the journey, the transitioning to how you got involved, and what is your takeaway from her Miss President?
Farida, now that we're in this space and you've been together, and you've been here, I think you, Farida, you started volunteering way before me at a very early age. But one thing is people forget is when you post, when you do things, even if it's volunteering, and then you just show people that this is what I'm doing, actually people notice. People see, people, and through them seeing, you get to be rewarded with the good things, or with even better things that you never imagined. And that is how I grew as an individual. I grew through volunteering. And utasikia mtu anasema no, volunteer tu hulipwi. But volunteer ndo imenifikisha hapa. Where I am right now, my father is not in that space, my mother is not in that space. It is me that I'm shaping my own destiny towards what I want as an individual. And I believe that is the thing. Again, it starts with you as an individual. What do you want? And then how do you shape whatever you want to become a better person? Or even to grow yourself to the person that you want to be. You know, Farida? So with that, I said, this I'm doing, yes, for my community, but there's also the me part. For me as an individual.
Baby girl treatment.
Yes, for me as an individual, what do I want out of all this, you know? So I saw the application, and actually it was sent to me by a number of people, so many, I think 10 or something.
Don't talk about who didn't apply.
Yes, and I was like, no, I'm not applying. Hii ni watu wakubwa. And unajua Miss President, it takes women all over the country of all ages. Yani so unafikiria mimi miaka 25 nikiwa kwa space ya mtu wa 50, 40, really? Hapo tu ni zero. But I remember the last day I said, I'd rather apply and get a no. I get a no, I say nimepata no, it's okay. Rather than not applying and feel like, sasa you will see me, could do better, you know? So the last day I applied. After I applied, who's God? I was called for the interview. It was 750 applied. I think 300 of us were called for the interview.
Out of 750 applications.
300 or 350 of us were called for interviews all over the country. So I went for the interview. I went and said, okay, this I'm living together. And remember, in Mombasa, we had so many women came for the interview. And then they had one space. So they had interviews for Mombasa, Kwale, Taita Taveta, Lamu also was there. Olo and Kilifi. Yeah. So the
coastal counties
we had
together.
Yes, we had an interview mali pamoja. Yeah. So after the interview, I said, okay, we finished. Let's see what God has in store. So I went again, and after some time, nasikia watu wanapata message, oh, nimekuwa rejected. And then Mike came. We were among the 50 people going for the academy. Wow. You know, so I was excited. I was really happy because this is a huge milestone for me. Again, it goes back. I have no one in this space. It is me and pushing for myself and the agenda of my people and young people, especially young women that wear hijab like me. So tukamaliza interview and went for the academy, and we did our best to represent our county.
Thank you. And you deserve an award. You deserve an award. You really did a good job.
Yes, we did our best to represent our county, and I believe again it goes back to God sees. And why I'm saying this is people see us, Farida, and they think we just get opportunities like that. Serious.
I'm having a headache literally.
Esha, you umeenda Kwale, you in Nairobi,
you have a
godfather. Kumbe is you stay late applying. True. You stay late researching. You stay late reading. You know, Farida. And then things happen because you've put in work, you've put in hard work, and you know that, and then now you leave it to God. You see? Yeah. So that is also something I want to debunk. Like, we are young, yes, but we should put our efforts towards our dreams, towards what we want. No one is going to give you an opportunity. No one at all. You have to work for it. Yes, you have to work. So, ni interviews, ni applications, late night sleeping, doing your best, and then you leave it to God.
Wow. Yes. Kwanza hata mimi I'm clapping for you kabisa because you did a very good job. And you know, most of the time people usually assume that once you don't get to walk that journey mpaka mwisho wa the academy, you've not done anything. But trust me, I know how intense that program is, and you taking that lead and being willing to represent the people of Mombasa in such a space towards mahali umefika is a great achievement. And ningependa tu kusikia maybe what is that thing that you've learned as an individual, because you know there's the aspect of generalizing things, but what have you taken away from the whole process, starting from where you've explained to us, you applied, you got called for the interview, you were part of the academy, mpaka sahi. What is that thing you learned ama unlearned as an individual, and it has shaped you mpaka sasa you are carrying it and you've posed it maybe as a challenge towards your development?
Yeah, so first let me say I was the only one from Mombasa. Yes, I was the only one from Mombasa.
With the narratives.
And yes, the narratives that come. And people was like, everyone was like, when I was eliminated, Esha, we expected you, you know, that is the belief that people have. So to me, that was the big one.
I'm the leader of everyone.
Yes, that was the big one. Like, people had good expectations and they were praying and they were sure that I deserve and I can be, you know? Yeah. So that was the best thing about it for me. And winning or not winning, that is God's plan. But you being there is everything. So for me, I've learned a number of things in the show. And one is we have women in this Kenya, Farida.
Tell me.
Women are doing things. Ni platform tulum tuhana.
They are celebrated and spoken heroes of this country.
Yes. Women are doing great things. Great. And that as a young person, you should never get intimidated. That is one thing that I learned in that academy. Never get intimidated because of someone else's success. Because probably you're even better than them. And even themselves are even feeling intimidated by you, but you don't know. You see? So never feel, because at some point I felt that I'm like in a space where we have PhD holders. We have, I don't know, CEOs, chief officers, we have
government,
exactly, people working in government, we have people overseeing a number of things, and there you are,
25-year-old Esha.
Yes. Yeah, so never feel intimidated in each and every space, and actually you are there because you have something. So I realized I also have something. It's just for me to get to understand myself better. That is one. And two is my communication skills grew, my friend. Grew top notch. I realized that I am sitting nakalia kipaji Farida. Nakalia kipaji Farida. Like my communication skills grew. I am good at communicating, yes, but it grew. It became better, and then it sharpened my skills as a leader. As a young woman leader of this age, where I sit in different boards, and one is the National Council. There's so many things. You cannot just be there. You have to grow as an individual, especially in learnings. And these are the only spaces when you're put in a place. You're told ukikaa kwa room ambao wewe peke yako ndo mkubwa, shtuka. Shtuka. So you're put in a place where everyone is doing something. So you have to remove yourself from that box. So for me, that was a huge learning. So when I was eliminated, I felt bad, and I was telling Farida, I felt bad. I said, Mimi, akisita post. But then when I saw that video come out of myself speak
on national TV,
the last saying that, oh, I am proud, I'm happy, it was everything for me. It pushed my emotions to a different level, and I was looking at myself and like, oh, this is the girl.
This is
the girl has grown, the girl has matured, the girl is understanding things, you know. So Farida, those are my learnings. To be sincere, there are very many, but let's also not forget that in each and every situation there are issues. So let me not say like it's all 100%, but you just prepare yourself as an individual for different scenarios.
Wow, I really agree with you when you talk of the aspect of personal reflection.
Exactly.
There's the general benefits you get from a program, but you've taken the task of actually eliminating every lesson you've learned and then brought it down to the individual aspect, which is yourself. And now talking of the communication aspect, you're telling me you've improved. So I'm just asking myself, the way I look up to you, Esha, how you present yourself, how you communicate with people, and you inspire me. So telling me that you've leveled up from where you are to another level actually is inspiring me more, and I believe that I'm going to learn a lot from you. So Esha, there's this aspect of being in this space, and we get tired. There's the pressure of performing. There's the pressure of wanting to achieve your goals. There are challenges of lacking resources, lacking support, a lot of pressure that comes with either the society that we are coming from. But personally, as Farida, I was not prepared for this.
Very true.
I've always seen people clapping for me when I do something good, people telling me to do more, and the people who are looking up to me telling me, you are my mentor, you are my role model. But at the end of the day, Esha, I come back to my house, and sometimes I'm like, do these people even know? I don't even know what I'm doing. Or sometimes you're just lost, you're blocked completely. Haujui hata what is coming mbele yako. And sometimes these opportunities come and people see it as a big win, but in real sense you've taken a lesson and not what people have pictured as benefit. So talking of the aspect of now self-care, what word can you say, or rather what is your perception about us belonging in this space, which is the civic space and community service, and how are we going to take care of ourselves and make sure that we don't get tired and die hapo katikati?
Let me tell you something. Let me take it back when I was called and I saw my name in the Gazette notice as the NYC board member. I remember that day. First nilikuwa nimeumia mguu. I was really in pain. And then I was called, Esha, your name is in the Gazette. Esha, your name is in the Gazette. People are sending me Gazette notices. I'm like, my name is in the Gazette. Okay, let me check. It is there. But imagine Farida was not happy. To be sincere, I was not. I was not happy, I was not sad. I don't know even what I was feeling. Because to me, I was like, okay, I'm in the Gazette notice.
What?
Okay, so But now that I'm reflecting about it, that's a big deal. So for anyone else, angekuwa naruka juu na chini. I'm saying that because as individuals, especially as young people, we get tired. We have these feelings that sometimes we surpass. And tired, semi mwili, tired even mentally, physically. You get drained in the work. And then people are like, oh, wait, as you're saying, you're my mentor. But when you sit and okay, so how am I mentoring you? You see? But it's because we tend, when in these spaces, we tend as young people to forget that we're human beings, that we have emotions, that at times you might not get all that you want. At times you might feel like things are not moving. Ama unaona jamani mpaka saa hii vitu haziwi tu. You see? But one thing is to remind yourself of your goal. Where do I want to go as Esha? Where do I want to go as Farida? What do I want in this life? Remind yourselves, affirm yourself. I love one thing about Farida. Farida knows how to brag about herself. It's something that I want to learn. And in these spaces, Esha, but I love, Farida, I think that is something that we should all get accustomed to. Because the moment ukianza kusema, maybe I am this, it actually sticks.
Yeah.
It sticks and you feel it. Lakini saa ingine tu tunasurpass, inabaki, and you forget even yourself. You forget that actually you deserve such things. Unasema mimi hata nimepewa, I don't deserve. But actually you deserve.
And even more.
And more. My mentor was calling me one day and ananiambia, Esha, mimi nataka siku moja, because that day I was feeling really low. Akanipigia, nataka siku moja, yani ningekuwa na uwezo, ningekutoa, remove you from who you are, I put you there, and then you watch yourself. Maybe it will help you see what we are seeing. Yes, maybe it will help you see what we are seeing. And I think that is where we should go, Farida. But let's remember, we are young. We should enjoy ourselves. Let's not cloud ourselves as much as it hurts. Yes. Because kuna majukumu, Farida, as young as we have so many things that are going through in our heads. Because at 20, hapo ndo unatafuta mahali kwa kuseto. Na kama sisi ma civil society, tuko kila mahali. Unaona sasa, watu wana settle, wengine wameanza tayari maisha, wewe uko tu unasema nini, mimi I have a dream to lead this nation.
Society pressure now.
Exactly, I have a dream to lead this nation. It might not happen today, but I know this nation, I will lead this nation. And that's it, Farida. But let's take care of our mental health. Really critical.
Wow. And talking about people getting tired, I know people usually say, it has been now something that has been adopted by many people, taking a break.
Yes.
But how really do you take a break? Because for me, I feel like our generation, not necessarily everyone, but whatever influencers are showing us on Instagram, it might be real, it might not be real, but we've taken it as a task of taking a break, booking a hotel, taking a video in that hotel, taking pictures of views of how the sandy beaches are, 2-3 days. Kumbuka you are taking a break. Kule wangangana kutake videos, kufanya hiyo ni kazi bado unajipatia. Ukitoka kule, is that a break, or you've taken another task of being a content creator? And then you come back, you tell us that you've taken a break. So I feel like pia whatever we learn through observing, you also shaping our definition of things. And what maybe I will tell our audience is taking a break just works with who you are and what works for you. Sometimes you enjoy cooking, una enjoy kubaki kwako ama kwenu nyumbani. Stay, nenda Kongoea, buy those things, come cook. That is a break for you. But tusikuwe na ile pressure, somebody wanting to take a break ni kwenda Zanzibar, kwenda Lamu. It's not a bad thing, but that is what has been pictured as taking a break.
It's true. Saa ingine unachoka, Farida, by the way, you just decide you want to sleep.
Na
autoki yani uamke, yani you just see tu umenani, you are sick, no, you just in the bed either watching, lazing around,
Yeah.
and it can take you around 2 days, which is also a break.
Very
so
okay.
I think we should just define taking a break as young people, because sometimes you're saying taking a break, umetoka huko Zanzibar, umerudi umechoka.
Kesho kuto you have kazi na kungoja.
Exactly. So kuna kitu umefanya. I think we should look at it, which is really true, and it's something that I also adopt as an individual. I have, but I think I will do more in that aspect where you don't have to vlog each and every time.
Exactly.
Enjoy the moment.
Sawa, so watu wanasema inauma lakini tutazoea because we continue communicating this message.
Yes.
So as we wrap up this amazing conversation that we've had, and I believe a lot of people have learned. Esha, if you were given a microphone right now, and that microphone speaker is reaching to the whole of this world, what is that one message that you'll communicate to the world using that microphone?
For me, I'd say,
Okay.
love. Love is everything in this world. Let's spread love. Let's love each other. Kwa sababu gani nasema hivyo? Kwa sababu without love, then there's nothing that we're going to do. Without love, we can never be kind. Without love, we cannot see the other person in a different way. So let's love each other in that ya kwamba if you do something that unafanyia mtu reflect, ningefanywa mimi ningesikia aje, you know, because we tend to overrate, at times even underrate the word love. But if you sit and reflect how impactful it is in our communities, then all these problems that we have will not be happening. So let's love one another. Genuine love, right? And I'm emphasizing. Yes, I'm emphasizing.
In bold, in capital letters.
Because kuna vitu vingi zinatumika kudefine love na zingine si love. But love ya kwamba mimi sahi, whatever that I'm doing for Farida is something that I can also do for myself. And I'll be okay if done for me. Yes, I'll be okay, I'll be happy about it. I'll have no problem. So let's love one another deeply and genuinely. Yes.
That is a 25-year-old, a founder of her own organization, spitting such wise words. Utasema ni sijui ni watu wa hao miaka mingapi huko. As we are wrapping up, I would want you to tell our audience where they can get you. If it's through your social media handles, just let them know. And of course, we shall have them on this video so that it can be easy for them to definitely reach you out.
Thank you. But before I say that, I'd want to push and urge our young people.
Okay.
Our young people in this country and in Mombasa, to be specific also, let's push ourselves. Let's be in those political parties. Everybody is laughing. Let's be in those political parties. Don't just sit and lazy around. Talk. Someone will say, Esha, it's hard. Yes, it's hard, but make a step. Trust me, if you make a step, people will see. If you make a step, if you just wake up, go out there, find an organization, attach yourself, volunteer, people will see. Let's get out. Let's be in those spaces, take up those spaces, be in those tables. If you don't have tables, break those tables and form our own tables. Because then we can be better. Because then we'll be forming a generation of grown, 60 years to come, tukikaa na Farida.
Wisdom, my friend.
I'm telling you, yes. And that is what we want for our very own young people. Because without that, hatutapewa spaces. No one will be looking for us. They will only look for us when they need us. But when you need them, it will be very difficult. So take up spaces and trust in me and God. They will see you. So follow me, Esha Mohammed on Instagram, Esha Mohammed on Facebook, Esha Mohammed 6 on Twitter, Esha Mohammed on LinkedIn. Thank you.
You've forgotten about her narrative.
And her narrative also, her narrative KE on Twitter, her narrative on Facebook. We have a page in Facebook, her narrative KE on Facebook. Her narrative in Instagram, KE. You can also write us an email, her narrative ke@gmail.com, so that we can have this conversation. Because again, we need all of us in this spaces. We need all of us.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining me in this space, and
thank you for having me.
This amazing conversation. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've picked something that is very important, and kindly make sure you share this video with your network. And a reminder still, if you had not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Lastly, kindly engage us on the comment box, because
Yes.
Esha will also be there. If you have any question, you can ask and we shall respond.
Yes.
Till next time, bye.